Okay, so I've redrawn the board without the OSPF terms, because as we know, these terms without a source really do eclipse and contain those OSPF terms as well. And there's a few things we need to look at here. The most important is the loopback on router 5, the loopback on router 2, the operation of the level 2 to level 1. We need to remember that the ISIS is exporting both ways. So on router 5, it's exporting out the L1 and out the level 2. So that export really could effectively merge the levels. Now here on the term, we have a very specific range, which is the loopbacks in IP version 4 and IP version 6. We do have to be careful. If that was larger, then we could effectively merge the two terms by exporting all of the level 2 into level 1 and all the level 1 into level 2. So these terms here without a source really are slightly unusual. Okay, the good news about these terms is that it will sort out the loopback on router 2. And the issue with the loopback on router 2 is it's a true external. We have wide area networking going on in level 2, but not in level 1. So we do have ISIS externals, and the loopback deliberately has not been placed into ISIS, so we know that this loopback is an external. And of course, we know the OSPF is external. So these two terms here allow this external and this external to go out of level 2. And if you remember, externals in level 1 don't normally pass to level 2. It's one of the unusual things about ISIS when compared with OSPF. Those externals don't normally propagate from level 1 to level 2. Okay, so now let's have a look at the movement from level 2 to level 1. Now we know that that is designed to take these RIP routes from the level 2 into the level 1. We also know that wide area networking only is on, and so these routes would normally be external with 165. However, they now have a preference of 18 because they're effectively internal routes in the level 2. So by default, level 2 will not push routes into level 1. So we've configured this here from ISIS from level 2 to level 1. And that will move these routes into the level 1. So what about those difficult interfaces that caused us trouble when we were exporting out of the ISIS into the OSPF export? So these interfaces here caused us trouble when we were exporting on the OSPF because, of course, they don't appear as ISIS, they appear as direct. So they're not in the INET 0 as ISIS on router 5 and router 6. They're as direct, they've got the preference value of 0, they're in the INET table as direct. Well, the reason this doesn't cause an issue with ISIS is they may be in the INET 0 as direct, however they are in the database. And so this loopback is already in level 1, it's in the level 1 database. And this interface is level 2 and it's in the level 2 database. The second thing that matters here is that we're not really concerned about this L2 interface either here or here. It's the loopbacks that we want to flood completely across. Now, of course, if this loopback had been in level 2 and not level 1, we would have all sorts of trouble, and that's where, strangely, these terms would do it, because they specify this loopback, and again, they're going both directions in the ISIS. But this loopback is not in level 2, neither is this one, they are in level 1.